Ever feel like trauma might be holding you back? Like no matter what you do, you're stuck in an invisible prison of pain and patterns of suffering or self-sabotage? This week's episode is powerful. I'm Shelley with the God's Goodness podcast. In this powerful follow-up episode, Ian Reith returns to dive deep into the heart of trauma and its connection with our spiritual lives. Ian sifts through how trauma separates us from our true identity and how it synthesizes with sin, both keeping us from the wholeness found in God's love. Discover how old habits, past pain, and even spiritual warfare create strongholds on your spirit, and that healing and deliverance are possible when you fully embrace and receive God's love. The message is clear. Healing is not just impossible, it's inevitable, and it's a gift for you from God. Listen in as Ian shares his personal moments from breakdown to breakthrough and invites you to break free from the pain keeping you enslaved. Don't miss the life-transforming moment of salvation that concludes the episode. It's time to reclaim your true identity and walk in the love of God. Tune in today and let the healing begin. God is leading this podcast and has a very specific order for who comes on when. And I thought Ian was going to be our first guest because it was a conversation with him that eventually led to the idea of the podcast. But God had other plans, and it was just really neat how he worked that out last year. I'll do another video on it. But this season couldn't go on without Ian being in this exact spot. I couldn't get bookings at all. And after I booked Ian, everything fell in line and we're booked till December. So tune in. It is a very timely message and it just goes right along with the rest of the season so far. And I just love how God's working everything out. So tune in, be encouraged, share it with a friend. And if you don't know where to find a podcast yet, you can check out Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can even ask Google or Alexa to play the latest episode of the God's Goodness podcast and it'll get you there. So tune in, share it with a friend, and don't forget, hit the follow button so you can follow along and enjoy.